I'm going to show you some of my digital art mashups and talk you through what they mean to me. So here we go. Okay, this is a really fluoro Om sign. The Om sign is a ancient Sanskrit and Eastern symbol of the first primal sound from whence all came, all creation unfolding into various other vibrations and then finally manifesting the entire of creation as we know it. It's like a seed syllable. This is an artwork of Celtic mythology with my dad, Lee, in the little bubble up the top, and it's from a story about an ancient Celtic hero called Lee Lord Gifts, who I was reminded of my father by when I read it in a story called the Mabinogion, which is a famous old Celtic story where Lee Lord Gifts is wounded and he turns into an eagle, flies into a tree, and he's sick in the tree and shaking off all the rotten meat from his body, from his eagle form when he's sick in the tree, and it's falling to the ground and being eaten by these pigs. So his dad, Gwion, going through the forest looking for what's happened to Lee, sees the pigs eating the flesh and realizes, oh my god, that's not an ordinary eagle, that's my son in a shape-shifted form. And he heals his son back to health and heals Lee back to health. And the line is also connected with Lee because Lee Lord Gifts means the steadiness of the lion, something like that. And otherwise it's a beautiful Scottish forest scene with the sun shining through it. But I'm very into Celtic mythology and being Celtic myself, and Celtic on my father's side, I see a lot of familiar archetypes in the Celtic stories. This is a green dragon. Drew, which is a nickname I've been called since I was really young. Drew short for Andrew. Drew in Tibetan, Drew or Druk means dragon. And I've also been to Tibet. I've been up to the Himalayas, and I found out when I was in Lhasa, the capital of Tibet, that when I introduced myself to a fellow traveller as Drew, he said Drew means dragon. And so the archetypal symbology of the dragon has since been very meaningful to me. I've had some amazing experiences where I've been channeling the dragon, and I also, when I was living in northern New South Wales, I had some close encounters with giant goannas, which are like modern dinosaurs or modern dragons. And you can really see where the myth of the dragon comes from when you get up close to a goanna. And they're not aggressive really, they're quite friendly, and but if you get up close to them, you realise their breath does smell like carrion because they feed off carrion, so their breath isn't that good if you get too close, and you can't let them scratch or bite you because they've got a lot of bacteria in their teeth and claws. But aside from that, they're an incredible remnant of the ancient past and dinosaurs. And so I do believe in dragons, and I see that, you know, they're a potent archetype in the reptilian brain of humanity. This is one of the sayings of the Buddha. When, with regard to his own qualities, a Brahmin is one who has gone beyond, he transcends this goblin and his pandemonium. And there you see the Buddha with the little guy from the dream in Twin Peaks who's reminded me of a goblin, and a tempting hula maiden seemingly to present the goblin to you. But what I interpret this saying of the Buddha is going beyond. When you've reached the farther shore, you no longer are fooled by the illusion of the samsaric existence and the terrible evils that go on, and the suffering of samsaric existence can be likened to a goblin, and the underlying goblin of Mara, who is the demon of desire. Mara is the goblin, and Mara is also the devil of desire, and he creates pandemonium with the grasping of humanity for more, and for all the sense pleasures that create delusion, greed, and hatred, which are the three poisons. So when you've renounced this desire and realized the shunyata, the emptiness of existence, you've gone beyond, and the goblin no longer has any power over you. This is a Trident artwork taken from a chest tattoo I have. The tattoo has the circle and the three prongs. It's over my heart, and I use that as a base design for this Poseidon trident floating in the ocean, and it's has lots of symbology. The trident with the circle below it. It's also related to the god Shiva, the Hindu god, who carries a trident with a small drum underneath it. So the circle is the drum, and it rests below the three prongs of the trident. So this trident has levels of symbology, and it's always a sign of respect to carry a trident, and that's a recognized symbol of divinity or power. Can be of psychic power. So I was inspired to create this artwork through a oracle deck I have, where I drew the card Poseidon, which is indicative of flow and progression and going with the flow, as like the ocean. This is another image of the goblin Mara in one of his many forms, with a triangular UFO spaceship floating above him. This was inspired by an outback experience I had in the desert of the Central Australia when I was going through shamanic experiences with a neo-shaman and supreme magus, who at one point in the experience appeared to me like this pointy-eared goblin sitting quietly in the desert. And then after this shamanic experience, in the newspapers it was reported that there were triangular shaped UFOs been sighted flying over the desert in the outback. So it was an amazing time. We went and visited Uluru, which is the heart chakra of the continent known nowadays as Australia, and it's an ancient sacred site of the local Indigenous Islander people. It's also an incredible structure sitting out in the middle of the desert, a huge rock, and it's said to be the solar plexus of the planet. Thanks for watching.